Andrew Short. We're out here at Monster Mountain, highlighting the 2017 CRF450R. Really excited about this bike. A few highlights for me, starting off with the spring fork. You can unload the bike and go. It's one less thing to check, but the feeling of the bike is greatly improved. A lot softer initially, have a better feel. And that's important because traction has been increased. Geometry is definitely different, but there's a lot of rear end traction. Big highlight of this bike also is absolute hole shot. Statistically, to get a great start definitely helps you on the track, and Honda has the statistics to prove it, but the feeling on the track is unbelievable. Rear end traction's good, but allowing the front end to stay on the ground and have that traction controllable has been huge. So like I said, these guys are really excited about it. Power's up. The old one was definitely getting a little flat mid to top. This one has a great connection and carries all the way through, so it runs clean. Ergonomically, handlebars, seat, foot peg is similar to the old bike, they say on paper, but feels definitely a little more roomy, a lot more controllable. I don't know if that comes from the changes to the chassis or whatnot, but being a rider, those are some of the things I noticed. So pumped on this new bike. It's going to give the riders racing a lot better platform to start with. I think we've seen that already with the guys at Monster Cup, and it's going to be a great bike. For 2017, the power has definitely been increased. That's one of the first things you notice when you're on the bike. A lot of that has to do with the downdraft intake, and that style has definitely been proven to increase power. But what I've noticed on the track is the connection. I think that initial response, that's from the airflow coming on in, and I think the throttle body and all that is definitely improved. So the power all the way through has been a good thing. It's definitely a lot more rideable. I think some of these bikes are getting too fast, and this platform definitely offers you a rideable power band and ease of riding. You can ride it for a while, so definitely enjoyable. Another cool thing that I've noticed about this bike that I haven't seen on race bikes is the controllable map. So you just hit a button, it flashes once at you. That's kind of the standard map. It flashes twice at you. It's a different map, a little softer. And the third one, I don't know if you call it the wild switch or whatever, but it's power up. I'm sure they have a technical term for it. But as a rider, I think that's a cool function to have, something to play with. Different conditions, everybody throughout the country has different style tracks, and I think this is something that you can customize to yourself, your riding style and the track conditions. And for me as a rider and a consumer, I think that's an interesting thing that they've added, and something that I enjoy while I'm on the track.
Have you been changing the maps while you're riding, or when do you mess with the mapping on the bike?
I think it's fun to mess with the mapping on the track. I don't know if it's this day and age with the technology, but you're always kind of tweaking and messing with stuff. And some guys obviously will just leave it on the standard map, or with their ability they might not notice it. But then there's other guys that tweak out. I think it's a cool function or a cool feature that adds a lot to the excitement and your experience at the track. So I think that's neat, and I hope to see more of that in the future.
And if you wanted to change the mapping on the bike, how would you do that? How would you go about doing that? Do you need a computer program, or how do you change the maps? Is it just that's the three and that's it?
Yeah, they have a tuner kit that HRC or Honda sells, and for the new bike they have an updated CD that I believe you can tune it. And those are some of the features that you can check at your local dealer and find out how all that works. But for me personally, I've just experienced what's on the handlebar here. And I think if you get plugged in at your local dealer, they can get you pointed in the right direction on the tuner. But it's great stock. I don't think it's something that necessarily you'll want to do unless that's something that you're into, But for me personally, I just leave it, and I think that those three functions are definitely enough for what I'm looking for.
Charles Bright here with RacerX Magazine. I've been racing pro for about 5 years. I got invited to come out here for these guys and test ride the 2017 CRF450. They're saying this bike is the absolute whole shot, so we came out to see if it was all true. We've spent about 6 or 7 hours on this bike so far today. It's light years ahead of the 2016 bike. A lot more power down low. It has a lot more hit that the old ones didn't have, but it's not too aggressive to where you want to spin out. All the changes they made to the frame geometry and to the engine really helped the bike hook up. The front end tracks really well through the turn, and it really works well. I got on the bike and I felt right at home within 2 laps. And the track here at Monster Mountain where we're at is just phenomenal. The track maintenance has been absolutely amazing, and it's been a real fun day riding. That's all for right now. We'll get a video up on the site within about 24 hours of us riding this thing. We'll show you what it's all about.